Hi, welcome to Words of Wisdom. Thank you for joining me. It is dark outside. I've had a very busy day and the storm is raging. Storm Amy is here. You can see I'm in my cutchy, lovely, warm, fleecy jumper. And I have a beautiful new tarot deck called the Cozy Witch that's sitting on my table that I've connected with, and I wanted to share that with you guys today in our reading. How has your day been? I have been feeling very much like destiny is mine today. Destiny is all. You know that feeling of you just go with the flow and what will be, and destiny is all. And I felt like because this storm is raging, this weather is so profound. I took the dogs for a walk in the gap of the storm, and there was a lot of wind and there was this fine rain and mist on my face as I was walking, and I took them for a nice long walk. It was the only time that we've managed to get them out today. And I just really felt drawn in by nature, and it was wonderful. It was lovely to feel. But this storm is raging outside my window right now, and I just feel like this is it's destiny is here. You know, that's how I was feeling anyway. So then I thought, well, what spell are we going to do tonight? What can we put in play, and what can we ask for? What can we have guidance with in terms of, you know, going forward? It's the weekend, and we have a full moon on Monday. So it's going to be one of the last full moons of the year, really. It's coming down. So it is important to start releasing. And if you are feeling like I've been feeling, I've been really going over things. They've been sort of downloaded, and I know I'm where I am. And I was really proud. I'm really proud of where I am. And I had a very profound conversation with one of my students today of a cycle that I can see clearly in her life, just from knowing her for the last couple of years. And she sort of gave me some information, and she said, you know, I just wanted to let you know. And I said, absolutely fine. I said, but I would be wrong if I didn't give you some advice, or I didn't tell you what I want to say, because I'm always open and honest with you. And she said that's true. And really what I could see, and I was thinking of this for myself as well, you know, she's at a crossroads. Now, I think we all get to that point where should we go now? Do I go left? Do I turn right? Do I stick? And of course, we don't want to just stay stuck, do we? We want to grow, and we want to continue on our journey. And sometimes it is quite worrisome in thinking, well, if I turn left, am I going the right way? Should I turn right? There is no wrong way, because what is meant to be is for you. It will be for you. If you turn left, you will experience what you need to experience. And if you turn right, you will experience what you need to experience. Ultimately, the destination is the destination. But we choose a journey, and we talk about destiny being, you know, are we on the right path? And sometimes we need confirmation to think we're on the right path. And the only thing I could think of really was, you know, you can choose to continue down the road you're going on and grow and make yourself better, and or you can go down the other choice and repeat a cycle in a toxic situation, in a harmful situation. Even though you might feel you're strong enough now, you will have to defeat it. So yes, you could be a little feeling a bit stronger. It hasn't come around for a while. You feel like you're ready. But ultimately, why would you want to? So sometimes when we are ready and we're on our path, and we can see that moment where you know that you could get drawn back into something that you really do need to release, leave behind. and you see something that's going to go, should I go down there? It calls to you. Your mind overthinks things. It triggers you emotionally. It unbalances you. All we can do really is think, I've acknowledged it. I recognize it. And then you can make your choice. So sometimes if we set a boundary, it helps us because we can stick to the boundary. Sometimes we can say, I've made that promise to myself. I couldn't break that promise to myself. Sometimes it's about reminding us that you could go back. You could go back into the situation. You can allow certain people back into your life. But what would you gain? Would you suddenly feel completely different? Would you suddenly feel happy? Would it make you feel miserable, unhappy, discontented? All the things of the reasons why you knew you had to leave whatever behind or not acknowledge the situation. So we do get these little triggers, and we've just got to be strong enough and honest enough with ourselves to stick with ourselves and go with our gut and know the feeling that we want to feel. And if you're not feeling that, then don't go there. Don't do it. So that's how I was feeling. So destiny is calling. Destiny is calling, I feel. I wanted to just read this out to you. It is a spell of worthiness and growth, really. So we're going to read that spell. I also want to share with you my little calendar guidance today. Don't worry about the unclear future. Just strive for a clear present. Exactly what I was just saying. Don't worry about the unclear future, but strive for a clear presence. It's the now. It's the journey now. It's been focusing on the now. And different beliefs determine different destinies. So very interesting guidance for us today. So don't worry about the unclear future, okay, the unknown. What you've got to worry about is your choice now. Because no matter which way you turn, that future is going to take place, isn't it? All right, so here we go. Not what I was, but what I choose. I shape my life, I will not lose. By moon and star, by flame and tide, I cast the shell of fear aside. I speak, I grow, I claim my form, a soul reborn through every storm. This is my time, my voice, my name. I rise unbound. I rise in flame. So there's your Phoenix energy coming to you right now from this very page. And we're going to ask Spirit for our guidance. I've got the Quantum Oracle, and I've got my new little Cozy Witch Tarot. We've got some runes on the table as well, and we'll just take it from there and see how we go. I just felt really called to get up here and sit and do this with you guys right now. So let's see how it takes us, shall we? All right. Let's go with our runes first and see which lovely runes are wanting to join us. Let's have a little look. Okay. That's a very interesting one. We've got two big runes. We've got a beautiful horseshoe. Okay, so there's the good luck, the luck that we often like to have on the table alongside magic. This is with us all the time, my beautiful unicorn, really very strongly. And in actual fact, I'm hearing now I need to get the animal cards, so we might have to call them onto the table in a while. And then we also have got the same as yesterday, Urus, and we have got the P. I never remember what that's called. And all of you are shouting at me right now going, Debbie, remember. Why I can't ever remember that one, I don't know. It does elude me. But interesting, we've just got the 2 today. So let's have a little look. Urus is about strength, health, power, energy, endurance, and creative force. So the physical strength and the power are at the heart of the meaning of Urus. But emotional and spiritual strength are just as likely to be emphasized. So funny how I'm talking like I've been talking, and the spiritual strength that you have to have. And I said this to my student, it's about having that, the faith really, strong faith in knowing that no matter which way you turn, you are going to end up in the same destination. It's how you're going to get there is up to you. So if you want to repeat toxic cycles until you finally give into it and overcome them and not ignore them, you will get along that path, that destination a little bit quicker. So it's having that physical and spiritual strength of faith and conviction and trust. So summon your connection to divine energy and trust that you will be guided to channel your personal power towards a positive outcome. I'm loving this already. So that is lovely. If it relates to health, of course, this rune indicates that you are or soon will experience good health and high degrees of vitality, because that's the energy. And Phoenix energy often gives you that feeling of vitality. So the magical uses of Urus brings new circumstances and situations into your experience. Strengthen and focus your personal will. Harness the energy of sudden change to your advantage, healing on all levels, and a deeper understanding of yourself and underlying motives. Very special. And then we have got a Thurisaz. That's what it is, Thurisaz. Actually, it's the next one along next to Urus, so they're very close. Contemplation, protections, decisions. Left or right? Yeah? Backwards or forwards? And luck. And here we have our beautiful luck rune on the table. So very, very special. So if you go into a challenging or dangerous or potentially dangerous situation, you can surround yourself with a shield of protective energy. You can carry a talisman or be extra mindful of your environment and your actions. Taking these measures is often enough to deter potential attackers from trying to harm or take advantage of you, so that you avoid the unpleasant situation altogether. So Thurisaz advises you to be mindful of your motives. Watch out for opportunities that bring reward that could be coming from deceit or dishonesty, but remember what goes around does come around. Don't take the easy path if doing so allows you to skirt responsibility. So again, it's easy sometimes to stay in that comfort of the knowing of the things that you absolutely know, but that you don't feel good in them. That's the easy part. The hard part is being brave and strong enough to make a change. So that's really what this is talking about. So this also can indicate that you're facing an important decision requiring careful consideration. So consideration is important in terms of whether you want to go that route or not. The ability to come from a neutral, rational place when making a decision that could significantly impact your life is another form of protection against unwanted circumstances. We may love a good thunderstorm, and the land may benefit from the rain, but we also know that lightning may strike and trees may be destroyed. So Thurisaz represents this destructive, chaotic, primal force within the universe. So if you decide that you want to repeat a cycle, sometimes the universe will give it to you in an extra special way to make you pay extra hard attention to it. And that was exactly what I was talking to my student about. You know, this time round, the cycle involves her family, people that are even closer to her rather than just a friend. And then previous to that, just a customer, you know, that sort of thing. So it's now got to a point where the universe is saying, pay attention. You need to make a change in the cycle. Preferably get out of it and stop repeating it. But it takes what it takes. And sometimes that can be really difficult. And it can be that, you know, the next thing you know, you've gone through the hardest part and you've got rid of that cycle, you think, and then you might even get another little test, but it's a little bit lighter, just to check you're still remembering. Don't go there. So destiny is calling. Destiny is calling. So this weekend, let us ask my beautiful spirit guides, please, for the guidance that we could do with in our journey. That could be coming up. Something could be coming up. And of course, whoever needs to hear this is my intention. And you might resonate with one card. You might resonate with two. You might get halfway through the reading and that's fine. But you might watch the whole reading and think, yeah, I'm exactly where Debbie is talking about and I need to hear this. And you know, when we make choices in our journey and whether we turn left or we turn right or we stay stuck, sometimes it's because we haven't been ready to hear. And it can take a little bit of time to hear things. So even though this reading is happening on this date, it could be that it comes across your feed a long time later. So be mindful of that if it does, and you are being guided to have a listen, because I have that a few times actually, and I honestly have got some really good guidance, because sometimes you just are not ready to hear something right now, but you will be. Okay, so let's go. Let's ask our beautiful quantum oracle deck for some guidance, Spirit, in terms of what can we have guidance with over this weekend. The storm is passing, I'm hearing. The storm will pass. And what do we need to be considering? Okay, well, it's one card at the minute. No, two. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, let's just wait there for a minute. Yeah, okay. So very interesting cards. The first one that came out was at a bit of an angle. A consciousness of lack, and we had this the other day. So somebody needs to understand you're putting yourself in this consciousness of lack. Why do you think you do not deserve a better option? Ask yourself that question. And it's really important, because you do deserve a better option. There is a conflict card here in reverse, which is suggesting that you've overcome a conflict and yet you're still not giving yourself the credit, which is quite interesting. And if you're doing that, Could be why you've got the stuck energy. And isn't it funny how I was saying turn left, turn right, or stay stuck? And here it is, the stuck energy. The full moon, as you know, is always about releasing. And if you've had this little trigger, if you've had this situation that's come around again, and you're sitting there going, oh no, not again. Why are you letting yourself stay stuck? When there's beautiful opportunity for you, there's light and luck. Rainbows are all about luck, and we have luck on the table. Conflict that you probably thought it was over and done with, and you were doing so well, just like my student. I've had such a wonderful summer. I know I've got stronger. I can handle this. But you're not, you know, when you start to doubt something, which she suddenly did in terms of how she was really feeling, because she did agree. So she was remaining stuck in the situation without giving herself that opportunity of changing this mindset. You will have the worth. You have everything that you need. You're just believing you don't. You're just not seeing clearly that path. Right, so let me just give you this overview. Consciousness of lack. We've actually had this, and it's a number 5, which is all about transformation. So consciousness. So remember, it said something is missing. It could be about a financial limitation for you, but it also could be about there are deeper issues there that the great gratitude card reversed. It demands that you shift out of this lack of consciousness now. It's very important. Your fear only restricts you further, keeps you stuck, when there is so much that you can absolutely be given on your path. You are blocking. Choosing to value yourself and your life will break down the harsh feelings in your heart and bring many amazing experiences to you. So I let go of limitation and lack, and I always choose to see the value in my life and in myself. Let's have a little look at conflicts. Where's events? Yeah, number 4. Conflict in reverse is breathe a sigh of relief. The seas are calming. The conflict is coming to an end. Remain centered and let yourself float through this tranquil time with clarity and appreciation. Know that through the many vagaries of life, you always have the power to remain conscious, calm, and self-directed. So enjoy the gentle breezes of happiness and peace that are coming your way. Now, you're not going to do that if you keep thinking of your worth as being less than, and that you don't deserve to have something different. You will have this stuck energy that you need to get rid of. Energy card. Where is it? Where's energy? Can't see it. Spirit. People. Events. It's got to be here. Energy. People. Intention. Energy. Number 8. Going nowhere. Maybe it's your job that's dissatisfying you. Maybe it's a relationship that is stifling you. Take a moment to notice the rainbow and the orbs behind the man. These represent the power of your own spirit, and the message here is a life lesson from your soul. And that's exactly what it is. It's a lesson, this cycle. It's a lesson for you to grow, to move forward, to change, to transform. Stop and figure out the logical steps you need to take. Meditate on the strength of your soul. You always have options, and you are resourceful and capable enough to figure them out. Only you have the power to choose the direction in your life. No matter what you're dealing with, you can get unstuck. So important message. Let's get ourselves unstuck. We don't want to be stuck any longer in any way. We don't need to. You can make that choice. All right, so let's ask our little Cozy Witch Tarot deck to give us some guidance as well, alongside these quantum oracles on a consciousness. What is it that we can have guidance with when we have this stuck energy, this consciousness of lack? We appreciate the fact the conflict is nearly done, it's over with, but we get this little trigger, we get this little test. Okay, so let's have some help here, please, with what is on our table for the weekend. Let's have a little look. Okay, anything else? No? All right, let's have a little look. All right, so we've got here toxic witches. Be cautious of those who take more than they give. All right, so it could be about people you're associating with that are making you feel like this. You know, that's important. You know, it was her family, my student was her family that was very toxic. So you've got to consider who you do need to take out of your life right now, especially while you're doing this journey, especially while you're trying to change. You don't need a toxic situation. All right. The Hermit. There are some things that must be done on your own. Exactly. You do need to center yourself, get yourself on your own. And this is exactly what my student was saying. I'd rather be on my own than be with my toxic friends. I said exactly. So don't allow the toxic family situation drag you into that side of things. It's okay for you to hermit yourself right now. It's more important for you to do so than to continually repeat a toxic cycle. That people are making you feel that you are not worthy. And, you know, the conflict card is in reverse. So you've got out of it. Don't let it bring you back in. Don't let it draw you back in. That is the advice. Stuck energy. Let's see if there's anything more. The guidance, please. Yeah. We all get a bit carried away with our worries sometimes. That's the stuck energy. Look where all the swords are, all stuck on the wall. But the good news, if you want to say it's good news, all of them are all stuck on the wall. They're not fallen down. They're not in anything. They are all in a very nice pattern formed right above your head there. We are all get a bit carried away with our worries sometimes, the overthinking, not sleeping, worrying about this toxic situation that is causing you to not recognize that you are worth so much more. You don't have to stay stuck. Absolutely not. You do not need to stay stuck. Okay, so could we have some guidance, please, and help of how we can move forward? Guidance, please, Spirit. What can you give us as guidance for moving on, moving forward? If you can recognize that you have got a trigger, that you have got a cycle that is approaching you, how can we move on? Nothing is ever as hopeless as it seems. These cards are magic. Look at that. It says here, safe haven. There is always an option. Okay, there's always an option for you. Your decisions decide your future. here, nothing else. Your decision. So you can choose this, or you can choose the other. Now, sometimes the other is the scary bit, the harder bit. But as with anything that's really difficult, if you overcome it, you grow. You feel victorious. You feel like you've achieved something so much more. Yeah? And we have the Ace of Wands. Don't you see how your passion makes you glow? Look at this beautiful red. Look at this Phoenix energy. Exactly. Can you not see your worth? There it is. Spirit is telling you, you glow. You are the special one. I have a very strong feeling that somebody is in the same positions as I am, and I've been there, done that. I've been made to feel this way, and it's not an easy thing to overcome necessarily, because it is scary. They've been friends. I mean, someone said to me, my friend, I've been friends with that person for 30 years, and they did that to me. 30 years. But, you know, my thought was, well, I'm sure during those 30 years, they probably made you feel really horrible for a long, long time. You just didn't want to hear it or see it. Different beliefs determine different destinies. Different beliefs determine different destinies. Right, we're going to go with our... I'm being told animals, the animal cards. Let's ask our animal oracle deck for some guidance as well and see what is going to come out. Only because I felt like the unicorn is on our table and this phoenix rising. I feel like we're going to be guided with some more guidance from the animal spirits cards. Let's have a look. So, making your choice now is really important for your future. Recognizing it. Spend some time alone this weekend and try and see. There it is. Try and see, if you can, where your magic is. Try and see where your light is, because it's there, and someone's maybe has made you dim your light, and that's not fair either. We also have our beautiful peacock that has come out. So we have the unicorn, we have the peacock, we also have a scorpion. Now the scorpion has this light, this gift. Of course, there's a bit of a sting in a scorpion's tail. And sometimes that's exactly what it is. Somebody could really give you that feeling of, you're beautiful, bright, but you know what? You need to dim your light. They might sting you a little bit in some way, but we'll read the cards. We'll read the book. We have the beaver that has come out. That's an interesting one. We're going to see where our beaver is situated. And we have the bat. And the bat really is a very clever animal, because the bat is willing to fly without being able to see, using their sensors, their sonar. They trust, the bat trusts in itself to be able to get it through the passageways and the caves and what have you. So that is just really confirmation that nothing is as hopeless as it seems. I want to put the bat on top of that for some reason. So we'll read about our little bat. We have one more card that came out, which was the fire ant, and it sat on top of this deck. And I'm going to leave it there for now. And we're going to read what we have. All right. So first of all, our bats. Where is, oh, we don't want fire, we want air. Right, so the bats. Darkness, letting go. Death leading to a rebirth. So what would be the worst case scenario if you did walk away, let go, allow yourself to be thrown out into the cold, and off you go? Okay? What could be the worst case scenario? As I said, sometimes the hardest thing is that where you have to be brave, because what is on the other side is the light, is the new, is the growth, is something you've learned. But the best option is that you've closed off a cycle. You've got rid of the toxic behaviors and patterns that you are used to, that you think that you know that you don't want. So the bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter, the closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns, no more lingering in the past. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely amazing. And then we have our spirit cards, which is our beautiful unicorn. I would imagine unicorn. Yes. I think the unicorn is, we didn't get the phoenix, but we did definitely get our unicorn. Where is it? Where is our unicorn? Black egg. Cosmic egg. Unicorn. Reconnecting to your higher wisdom and divinity. Destiny is calling. And of course we have our beautiful unicorn rune. So that is just confirmation again of what is on our magic table today. It's difficult to see, hear or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. So your decisions decide your future, nothing else. So there could be something that you are that's you're questioning. Is this is this real? Can I really do this? Is it an option? The unicorn is here to tell you it is. Well, we wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating. You can sort of see her sitting there doing exactly that. And of course, the same with the Hermit card. Look at her with the crystal in her hand. All the books, all the knowledge, everything you need to read, to learn, to do. That's the unicorn. So the mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn and you have begun your quest for the answers. So it's no surprise the subtle essence of the unicorn resides in the third eye, intuition. This center is called the Ajna Chakra or command center. The ancient yogis believed it to be responsible for our intellect, intuition, and deepest wisdom. So spend time this weekend maybe doing that exactly. Learning, being open to learning and receiving what it is that you need to know or you're not hearing. Ask for that. Be very specific this weekend in your guidance. Where am I? Earth. No, peacock would be a bird, I would think. Air. Fire. Air. Right, here he goes. Where are you, Mrs. Peacock? Dragonfly, owl. So our peacock, sorry about that, inner beauty, compassion. Now the peacock is unrivaled. It's the beauty resides within and extends outward indefinitely. So our beautiful peacock is sitting here. Don't you see how your passion makes you glow? Okay, so our peacock is glowing, is full of inward and outward beauty. It's many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of the self and others when the peacock has come. So do you accept yourself, or are you sitting in this consciousness of lack? That's your guide. That's where you want to get to. You want to trust in what you're being guided. We've got the Scorpion. And of course, it's passionate and competitive. Now, when in balance, it's wild and free and fierce. And to bring into balance is honesty and forgiveness. Okay. So it's interesting how the Scorpion's heat festers, and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they are left feeling burned. So it's sitting here right next to our Nine of Swords card, where we all get a bit carried away with our worries sometimes. So you've had this toxic situation that is resurfaced, and you have got to remember that you got burnt. It burns you. It doesn't do you any good to go backwards into it. Even though you're thinking of something that might be drawing you into it, your mind is playing tricks on you here. So to bring that into balance, you need to be honest with yourself and forgive those that are in your toxic environment, whether it is your family or friends or co-workers, whatever it might be. You will know. Forgive them and really get yourself back to you and be honest. Do I really need this? Do I really want to go through this again? Because if you really asked yourself that question, I don't believe that you would want to go through that again. Our little beaver is a hard worker, and it's loyal and tireless. But do you know what it says? Family first. And that is why sometimes that's the hardest thing when we have toxic situations in a family dynamic. You don't want to. It's much harder, isn't it, to walk away from your family dynamic? Much, much harder. So that is the beaver. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term steady effort. So we're on this journey and we have a little block, or we have a trigger, or we have something that wants to bump us off our path. Do you remember we talked about being in the middle of that path, where there will be either side of us things that are going to start to appear? That is when we have to be strong enough to know that we can be loyal to us, that it is us, ourselves, that we've made that promise to. You made the decision, you set your boundary. Beavers are all about boundaries. So you set your boundary very well. You set your boundary very, very well. All right, let's have a little look at our fire ants, because this one sat on top of the tarot cards here, away from all of these. So I feel like this is like the final message here. Aggression, rigid thinking, and following orders. So you can follow the crowd, or you can decide that you are going to shine your light in your way. So the fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situation. that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire and energy is at play. There it is, clear as clear can be, right on top of the tarot cards, right next to the Toxic Witches card. Very clear indication. You can decide. You have the magic, you have the light, you are being guided, you have the beauty within you now. You have the passion that it takes now, this phoenix energy, this beautiful red color. It's rising within you. And how funny, I'm sitting in my red hoodie tonight. So you don't have to overthink it. You can be strong enough and brave enough. You have to get out of this mindset of lack, this consciousness of lack, and you have got to ask yourself the question, do I deserve better? And if you do, and if you want it, don't worry about the unclear future. Just strive for a clear present. And different beliefs determine different destinies. Your belief in your destiny determines your destiny. No matter what other people are telling you, saying to you, expecting of you, pulling at you, it's irrelevant. We really, honestly, you just do not even want to be dragged back in. It's the conflict is over. You don't need to be. All right, high vibration, because we've got to stay high vibration. We've got to be positive. Let's get some guidance from our high vibration cards based on what it is on this table. Very important here. Very important message. Twice we've had this consciousness of lack come out. So if you are watching me and you do have been coming across my videos on Words of Wisdom, and it has resonated with you previously, maybe this is the same message for you that you needed to hear. Maybe you've been asking for some guidance. Here it is. Okay, let's have a little bit of high vibration help. I am grateful for the earth. I am grateful for the earth. Ground yourself. Stay grounded. That way you can stay in your balance, in your strength. Root chakra, my breath connects me to life. So meditate, do breathing exercise. Your sensitivity is a gift. Remember that. If you are really sensitive about this, if you're finding that emotionally it's affecting you, and you're really sensitive to whatever is going on, it's because the energy is guiding you. It's because you are being told. It's because you have asked for guidance and you're being given it. That is why you are sensitive to this energy. And it's there to help you. It is your lesson. My breath connects me to life. I am grateful for the earth. Ground yourself. Walk in nature. The storm will pass. Mother Nature has wonderful healing qualities. Wow, there we go. I can't believe 48 minutes has gone. I've chatted away to you. Thank you for joining me. I wish you the best with this. I really, really hope this has resonated. If it has, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Maybe if you want to make a comment, I'd love to hear from you. And remember, you have the decision to make. You have the choice. And this is your journey. This is your time. So look out for your rainbow, my friend. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.